Hello guys, anticipation mounts for NIO third swap partner, hinting at Porsche or Mercedes. Amidst challenges, strategic shifts signal profitability through partnerships, not just deliveries. The third battery swap partner is on the way this week, and who could it be? You can say that the NIO CEO is taking a special guest around Shanghai to showcase new homes. They are foreigners, not from China, so we can anticipate a brand that is not Chinese. This is a big hint that it could be Porsche, Mercedes, or another brand. We've heard that besides Toyota, there are several potential partners, such as Ford Charging Department, which has stated that they are working hard to adopt battery swap technology, which is quite surprising. The narrative has shifted significantly towards these battery swap partners, and we can expect 3 or 4 more partners very soon. This is what excites me. Selling cars is difficult. It's a business. But giving everyone swap stations, essentially like petrol pumps, is what, in my opinion, will be very profitable. In NIO, there are some big things happening in China, both good and bad. Firstly, some very good things. The NIO ES8 has won the Customer Satisfaction Award in the mid-large size SUV category. Very impressive. The ET7 also won for medium-sized sedans, and the ET5 and ET5T won the German Design Award for 2024. All of these are very impressive achievements. One crucial thing that you might have missed is that, according to the earnings call, the company has acquired factory assets from JAC and now practically owns them entirely. Moreover, it has its certification. The CEO mentioned that this move will reduce production costs by 10%, which is a significant boost. It's incredible. However, there is also some bad news that came with it. NIO has decided to separate itself from battery production. And one thing that some people are asking about is what's happening with the 150 kilowatt-hour battery pack. We have no information on that yet. We are aware that this information is in the user manuals. It is evident that it will be released soon, and there is hope that it might be announced on the occasion of New Day, which is coming in 2 to 3 weeks. It is also expected that the ET9 will be revealed on New Day, which is a super premium NT 2.0 car, set to launch very soon but might be available for delivery around 2025. So this will be NIO next NT 3.0 platform. All of this is aimed at rekindling interest in the brand, and it is hoped that the deliveries of the existing cars will also be increased. Another interesting point is that Blackrock has increased its holdings in NIO stocks. Thinking about this is quite intriguing. The narrative of NIO stock has shifted more towards being a player in battery and charging dominance than just cars. Because if you look at the sales, they are not that impressive. It was 3,700 last week, and we are seeing that it is not increasing to 5,000 or even 4,000. But in my general opinion, sales might be challenging in 2024 due to some policies. And in your earnings report, it has been mentioned that incentives haven't increased much so far, while other companies like LI Auto are quite aggressive in incentives to attract buyers. NIO also has a significant opportunity to spend money. An interesting thing we have noticed is that in the earnings, they have mentioned that their operating cash flow is positive, meaning they make a profit from operations alone. However, they are cautious about R&D and such expenses. They are spending a considerable amount on infrastructure, building swap stations, and new homes. And we have noticed a very interesting new home that is located at the airport. This new home will function as a lounge for NIO owners, but it is open at the airport, and this is how things are progressing. You can buy new lifestyle merchandise there, and along with that, there will also be a comfortable entry for new owners, and you can also buy food and drinks. It will be like a lounge for these new owners, just like a normal new home. But all of this will be at the airport, and that too at Shanghai Hongqiao Airport, which is fantastic. And of course, this way they will get very good exposure. Now, of course, the rent there may not be cheap, as it is for all new houses. Rent is very expensive for all those big new houses. And let me tell you the current narrative. People invest, try to make a profit. Yes, they are moving towards their goal, but I tell you, losing 600 million every quarter is far from profit. Indeed, If they stop R and D, they will be profitable, but they won't do that. Now the narrative is that this is an energy play. How much money will NIO make in the future with all the swap stations? Okay, not just for the NIO brand, but for all other brands too. And remember, NIO doesn't need to invest so much money for this. So this is going to be very profitable, and that's why you should buy NIO stock. Another interesting thing they mentioned after the earnings call was the European sales. Yes, they are focusing more on getting things right, and I completely agree with this. And a common complaint is that many people say that NIO is too expensive, etc. This is a different kind of product that should be more expensive than Tesla. This is of better quality than Tesla, and you won't have to worry about battery issues or the need to replace and buy new batteries frequently. However, I firmly believe that the CEO should focus mainly on executing things correctly and building a strong foundation before worrying about sales volume in Europe. I understand that sales will gradually increase when they deploy more swap stations and people see how the swapping process works. Now, one thing that is coming our way is the 4th generation of battery swap stations. This will be amazing. It might be a public swap station that Geely and Changan Motors can also use, and it can be used for the Alps sub-brand as well. NIO has recently touched 2,200 swap stations, which is quite a lot, considering there are only 5,000 McDonald's in China. So there might be a swap station after every 2 McDonald's. I think this is a fantastic number of swap stations. There is a chance of losses due to reasons such as R&D, swap station deployment, opening new stores, and several other reasons. Sales will be okay but not outstanding. NIO cars are always the best, but it's a bit challenging for most people to afford them. And my perspective leans more towards profitability through partnerships. These partnerships are what will truly drive towards profitability. Imagine it this way. You have parts for the swap station, and NIO can essentially charge them for purchasing, and NIO makes money upfront. Then NIO can build and install the swap station for them and make money again. And then you have a battery pack designed and configured by NIO. These are NIO patents and everything. Every battery that goes into these companies that buy for the public network, they have to pay money for the batteries. And essentially, a part of that money goes to NIO because NIO has designed that battery. So you have to pay 3 times, that's correct. Just for one swap station, they get paid 3 times, and then NIO also gets money for operating the swap station. So they get paid 4 times there. And the money that NIO is putting into the swap station is very little. So actually, when this scales up, all this money will come in like this in free cash flow. NIO doesn't have to work too hard for this money. And you can think that every time a swap happens, NIO also gets a part of that money. Very good. And the best part is that NIO doesn't own the swap station. NIO doesn't even have to pay rent for that swap station. All of this is handled by Geely, Changan, and others. And remember, this is a very important point. NIO is the one running these swap stations. So NIO is the one providing power to the power grid. If the government needs power in the grid, and there is a power shortage in some locations, a risk of blackout, then NIO can do this by operating those swap stations. But of course, the larger part of the profit in this transaction could go to Geely. But NIO also gets a part of that money. It is true that their goal is to put in as little as possible and get as much as possible. So in reality, they put in a little but get a lot. In the future, with these battery swap partners, this deal of spend a little but get a lot is going to happen. I agree with many people who are bullish in the long term. I am also mega bullish in the long term. In my perspective, swap partners are more important than deliveries. Swap partners are more important than deliveries. Thank you for joining us today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more stock predictions and market insights. Remember to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Happy investing, and see you in the next video.